Hey, how's it going, everyone? All right, so today's episode, we're going to be talking about a very controversial topic that people are still talking about, even though that people like Dr. Thomas Wimes has stated this many times. I've actually talked to him publicly in interviews. Melina Messing has also stated this publicly as well. Everything that I'm going to be talking about is going to be in the description of this video. This playlist that I'm currently working on and definitely going to be adding to over the next several months and probably even longer is going to be down below and also on this channel that you're viewing this video on. Another playlist of mine is also on my gaming channel. My gaming channel is not like nutrition based, unlike this channel. And for anyone new, by the way, yes, this is a carnivore channel, or rather, I very much am a carnivore style eating. But I really believe that you should do you and find what works for your body, whether that is pretty much a standard ketogenic diet. I've stated this many times before. If you want to do a plant-based version of a ketogenic diet to treat polycystic kidney disease, you definitely can. But it's all about results. And for me personally, I have found out that my body produces the best results when I very much align myself with red meat. Yes, red meat. And not so much plant-based protein. And that's really for me. So don't get discouraged with the name of this channel. But I mean, I really am very much aligned to the animal kingdom. But this playlist, especially these three videos here, they're very lengthy, but they have all my medical records in. Medical records that show that my kidneys grew. They stopped growing after I applied a standard low-carb ketogenic diet. Then I moved into ketovore, which is a red meat version of a ketogenic diet. They started to shrink. And then I did 5 months of zero total carb carnivore, and they completely reversed in size. I also have interviews with Dr. Thomas Wimes, Dr. Jacob Torres, and definitely going to be adding more of these interviews for the future. So these playlists are definitely down below in the description. But okay. Oh, yes, and one last thing. I've been invited to do a podcast series on Santa Barbara Nutrients channel with Melina Messing. We just put out our second episode, so definitely check it out. I'll go ahead and put this as the top pinned comment to today's video. So if you look in the comment section, you're going to see this video as basically my comment to this video. Okay, that was a mouthful. Polycystic kidney disease 1, there's nothing you can do about it. It's only going to get worse. A low-carb ketogenic diet is only good for PKD2. I saw that bullshit about a year and a half ago when I started to do this, and I saw it on Reddit. Yes, Reddit. And guess what? I am banned from the Reddit community. So if you are watching me and you're part of the Reddit community, you really may want to rethink, especially if you're an admin out there, you may want to take this information very much to heart. I have been banned from various Facebook groups because I have shared multiple different videos talking about what we are doing treating polycystic kidney disease. I have been banned I've been banned for posting a video by Dr. Ken Berry. I've been banned for posting a video by Dr. Eric Berg. Dr. Ken Berry is a carnivore, almost 4 million subscribers on YouTube. He's talked about polycystic kidney disease in a low-carb ketogenic diet and also a carnivore diet. Dr. Eric Berg has also talked about a ketogenic diet. If you post those videos on Facebook groups with tens and tens of thousands of people, I am in 2 phenomenal Facebook groups. They are also in the description. Actually, I'll go ahead and add them to the top pinned comment of today's video. One is Dr. Thomas Wimes' Facebook group. It has almost, I believe, like 5,500 people. Another one is ran by a guy named Steve. He has been doing this now for many years. He is PKD2. I don't want to go ahead and throw out an age for the guy, but he is. I'm 37. I started doing this when I was 35, almost 2 years ago. He is very much on the older side, but it shows that, well, PKD1 can definitely be reversed, and the guy is also reversed PKD2. But going back to what I was saying, the first thing that I saw when I started doing this was very discouraging, because I did not have a gene test up until actually very recently, and my kidney doctor told me after seeing my MRI in May of 2024, I got told that, hey, this is more than likely PKD1. Your kidneys in a 10-month period, not a 10-year period, a 10-month period, 10 months, they grew by 15 and 18% to be precise. I did the math using a calculator. I'm not a mathematician whatsoever, but I did add them up. They went from 11.8 centimeters, 13.8 centimeters to 14 and 16 centimeters in 10 months. Hey, Christopher, what were you doing during those 10 months? Well, I was doing a whole lot of zero exercise. I was eating a lot more Ben & Jerry ice cream. I was probably having maybe a couple pints per week of ice cream. I was living on pasta. I was barely eating really any animal protein. I was also eating a lot of almond nuts, oxalates. I was also, I wasn't drinking in the sense of like every single day being an alcoholic, but I mean, I definitely do have alcoholic tendencies. If I have one beer, I can't stop drinking until I black out. So the 2 to 3 times per week that I would actually have a 6-pack or maybe a 9-pack, sometimes a 12-pack, it definitely contributed to my issues. Also processed food as well too. Not to mention the beer that I was drinking was very much high in carbs, friggin' Modelo's. Oh, yeah. Also a lot of IPAs too, very high in wheat, hops, just like grains essentially too. Just overloading my system of carbs. 10 months, these things massively grew. So I was very discouraged when I saw on the internet that this only works for PKD2, but I still tried it no matter what. And I actually got genetically tested several months ago, and it was actually a shell shocker. I honestly thought that I was maybe one of these weird variants, or maybe I was PKD2. My mom, she's 67, her EGFR is 95. She actually has 1 or 2 simple kidney cysts. She doesn't have massive cysts at all, and her kidney function is flawless. Her bun is she's not leaking any protein. Everything else about her is great. My dad is unknown, but my mom does not remember anyone on his side having any type of kidney issues. No dialysis on my father's side of the family. No kidney transplants or anything weird like that. So my dad maybe could be a de novo variant, and maybe I got it from him. However, my gene shows that I am PKD1. I am also an aggressive variant because I am I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word. Right under the ZYGO. Yeah, let's just leave it as that. But I am a aggressive variant, and my variant has also been linked to a de novo variant. So I could be a new mutation. But guess what? My kidneys have reversed in size. Therefore, this obviously works for the most aggressive PKD1 variant out there, and it also works for PKD2. So does a low-carb ketogenic diet only work for PKD2? No, that is nonsense, and that's a lie. Okay? There are still people out there on Reddit, on Facebook groups, that will go ahead and say that, hey, there's really nothing you can do for PKD1. A lot of these people, honestly, tend to just be doubters, and they tend to be noise spreaders. it really is unfortunate that we do have people in like low carb ketogenic groups that just, in my opinion, there's really no nice way to say this. They are on the sidelines watching the data and just not really giving a hoot. And they themselves are just progressing and getting worse when people like myself and many of you all are getting better. And they just spread disinformation. And it's really not fair. It's not fair at all. So as you are seeing, I am PKD1. I am a carrier to a really bad thing. And this is really a kick in my nuts. Because if I ever choose to have offspring, which I've really been spooked out of, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Everything happens for a reason. But it's very important that you get genetically tested. You rate my insurance covered it. You rate a genetic test. If your doctor says, well, maybe you don't need, no. You got to push for yourself. You rate this. Your doctor is going to have to earn their paycheck. There are lazy doctors out there. I'm not trying to bash on doctors, but doctors are not God. They don't have divine powers. Some of them honestly think they do, but they don't. They are lazy human beings. Some of them are. And you gotta push some of them to say, hey, no, I have problems inside of me. I rate a genetic test. You got to get genetically tested because I have a AR, submit. It's staying away from these words. The AR recessive one is pretty much the child killing variant. Like, you're talking about children going into kidney failure with this type of, like, variant. It's very deadly. Typically, a lot of teenagers also experience very early problems. So, hypothetically, I am, like, very susceptible to passing this on. Like I said, it's something that everyone should very much be aware of in case you actually do have some of these weird very unknown style of variants. Okay, so I have this chart that I want to go ahead and bring up here because this is very real and this is something that people don't really talk about too much. And this is pretty much a whole bunch of different types of averages. As we basically see, I fall into this category here, PKD1, PT, and then you have different non-aggressive PKD1 variants. If you fall into these categories here of being PKD1 non-aggressive, you can be in this range, the mid-range here. And of course, if you are PKD2, you basically fall into the later types of ranges here on this chart. And for no mutations detected, they're very weird types of mutations. I thought that I was actually one of these no mutation detected. There are different types of variants out there where they don't show up as PKD1 or 2, but you have a bunch of cysts on your kidneys. They tend to be a very weird cystic kidney type of disease, not polycystic, but just cystic kidney disease. A lot of people honestly never really have a problem with those. To be honest, I was kind of really hoping I fell in that category, but knowing that I am PKD1, a aggressive variant, and that I just literally whooped his ass, that actually makes me feel very good. So I'm actually really happy that I am PKD1, believe it or not. I really am. So this is something that just makes me think outside of the box. How the hell can someone have end-stage kidney failure around their 20s, their 30s, and also their 40s with the same variant as me? But then as well, how can someone with my variant also make it all the way to their 70s? And then on the flip side as well, there are cases out there with people that are PKD1 making it to their 80s. Think about that. How is that possible? What this data lacks is what these people look like, what is their BMI, are they a smoker, are they a drug addict, a drinker, are they abusing substances, are they abusing chemicals, are they abusing sugar? I do consider sugar to be a substance because after learning about what refined sugar and refined carbs like soda, energy drinks actually are, it really is a substance. Because if we were to take all these energy drinks, all these beverages, and not to mention these feel-good food, and if we were to go back in time hundreds and thousands of years ago and pass them out to the population that have never experienced a massive sugar high before, you would have people dancing around with the equivalent of handing out party drugs at a nightclub. Oh, yes, you would. It's a shell shocker, and it's also a wake-up call. So the way that I look at this data right here, I just want to know what these people look like. And it really shows that if somebody's going to make it to their 70s with PKD1, and that really is like a goal of mine. I would love to be one of these 70, 80-year-olds. I mean, hell, I would love to die of a heart attack in my 80s rather than to die of kidney problems. Sure, give me a heart attack, God. It's a much better way to go out than to go out with kidney-related issues. But on that same notion, this data lacks visualization. You can come to the gym with me. I have no problem, really, and I probably will go over kind of just really what I do. I'm not doing anything crazy anymore like I used to. I used to be an extreme athlete during my 20s and early 30s. But if I had to really gamble on how these people made it to the later end of their life, it's all about healthy living, and it's all about prioritizing the right type of food, not taking in chemicals such as smoking, drinking, drugs, other type of chemicals found in food additives, food dyes, food coloring, nonsense, preservatives, processed food, very high amounts of sodium. It's a really injustice because I really want to see what people look like in this area. I could also be dead wrong too, so please take this with a grain of salt. But I'm just trying to really put out there what I've done in the last year, especially being PKD1 with an aggressive variant. I have completely cut out sugar from my life. I've cut out carbs to a very low amount. I have became mobile again. I exercise 5-6 times per week. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm literally lifting dumbbells, free weights. I go on walks, light jogs, runs. I'm going to be getting back into some swimming very shortly. I'm mobile, constantly mobile. And I never ever cheat on training on my body. I always am doing something. And it goes to show just the power of mobility with cutting out all the garbage and going to a whole food, low carb style of living. It really can change your outcome. Maybe because if I did not make a change, I would be one of these people that would be in kidney failure in their early 40s. Yes, statistically speaking, I would be around one of these early ranges of kidney failure. It would have been devastating. I'm very glad, very grateful to God that it worked for me, and I had the courage to really make the change. And I can go ahead and tell you that, yeah, I am very confident that I am going to be one of these very high-end outliers here for PKD1 variant. So hopefully this video gave you motivation at all, especially if you're struggling, seeing some nonsense. Because, like I said, there are people that are going to say that there's nothing you can do for PKD1. Remember, that's bullshit. That's a lie. It's not true. It works for PKD1. Oh, yes, and one last thing. This case study is also in the description of this video. This case study, along with many others, really saved my life. Trigger warning: how modern diet, lifestyle, and environment pull the trigger on autosomal dominant polycystic kidney disease progression. As we basically see here, PKD1 mutations may require more rigorous or early intervention to achieve similar benefits compared to those with minor PKD2 mutations. You got to start early. So if you are PKD1, please consider this information and don't let time pass you by. I started at the right time, at the right moment. I saw that my kidneys grew, and I'm like, whoa, hold on. Okay, let's do something here. I didn't give it time. Like, honestly, a lot of doctors and dietitians that are uneducated will tell you. No, it's right then and there. I came home, I gutted my kitchen, and I started doing this. So please take that with motivation. Please take that to your heart. Don't let the haters discourage you, because there are a lot of people out there that think this is nonsense, and those people are aiming for a lot of complications. All right, love you all, especially from the polycystic kidney disease community. New video on this channel probably tomorrow, and future podcasts, more episodes. Definitely subscribe for more, and if you have any questions, definitely comment to this video. Comment on the Facebook post that I post these videos on, and I'll try to reply to them. And if you have any questions overall, feel free to definitely reach out. Later, everyone.